Who doesn't want high definition TV? Nobody! That's why you bought that big TV in the first place, right? But the thing is, plenty people got that big flat screen TV for Christmas or their birthday or whatever, but they didn't get an HD cable box to go with it. That means that they're watching this regular TV signal on their big HD TV, and it could look so much better. See, an HD image is 4 times the size of a regular digital TV image. To get true HD, you gotta have Rev TV HD to go along with your HD TV. So here's the deal. You can get a Rev TV HD box today for about as much as you're paying now for your regular digital box. And you'll only pay half the cost to access over 100 HD channels with Rev TV HD. You're welcome.
Your HD TV deserves true HD, so upgrade to Rev TV HD today for just $4.99 a month for a limited time from Rev TV. Rev TV HD, how we define TV.
The leader of the opposition unapologetic over his Malaysian Air comments. The Financial Services Minister responds to the Free National Movement leader's tax repeal threats. A committee appointed to assist the liberalization of the telecommunications sector, and just over 1 month to go until the IAAF World Relays kicks off. We have those stories and more coming up tonight. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Christina McNeil, and your MB12 starts right now. For joining us. Opposition leader Dr. Hubert Minnis today responding to the fallout over his Malaysia airline comments, which have been criticized as tasteless. The Prime Minister said Minnis should be condemned for his remark that the government is just as lost as the missing plane. But Minnis, on the other hand, feels differently. Dana Smith reports.
Minnis offered no apology for his Malaysia airline remark and said although he meant no harm, he stands by his words. The opposition leader said if anyone needs to apologize, it's Prime Minister Perry Christie.
Because he owed the Bahamian people the biggest apology one can think of. He deserves an apology for this total mismanagement, indecisive government, lack of leadership, and making decisions on a timely basis, and repeatedly late in any type of decisions they've made. So who owes an apology? He owes an apology to 300,000 people in this Bahamas nation. That's what we wait for Perry Christie. So yes, he's lost. He's completely lost.
Last week, while criticizing the government as disorganized and indecisive, Minnis likened the Christie administration to missing Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. That flight has been missing since March 8th, and its plight highlighted by international press. More than 200 people were aboard that flight, and grief-stricken relatives of its passengers are often featured in reports. Minnis said the government reminds him of the plane because both are lost. Yesterday, while speaking in Mayagüana, a year after the tragic runway plane crash on that island, the Prime Minister hit out at Minnis for his ill-spoken analogy. Christie said, quote, "You can joke about politics, even seriously argue about your side of politics, but when you use an analogy or an illustration in politics about the loss of human life that has gripped the attention of the world, you are not speaking properly, you are not speaking wisely, you are not speaking humanely." PLP Chairman Bradley Roberts also condemned Minnis's remarks and called for an apology, but Minnis said he stands by what he said.
Perry Christie, I repeat, so that he would hear, he can look in my eyes, and I say to him directly, you are lost.
Minnis claimed Christie's criticism of his comment is an attempt to divert attention away from the issues affecting the nation and Christie's, quote, inefficiencies and lack of leadership.
I stand by what I said, that this government and Perry Christie is completely lost, and let's deal with the issues that face us today. The issues of jobs, the issues of shrinkage of the middle class, the issues of increasing poverty, the issues of foreclosures of home, the issues of crime, where our brothers and sisters are being gunned down in the streets. Those are the issues. The issues are what will happen to these 5,000 odd students who will be graduating soon. Those are the issues. So Perry Christie, let's stay home and deal with our problems.
Although Minnis extended no apology for his airline remark, he stressed he meant no harm with his words. He said as a physician, he is trained to be compassionate.
I do not harm. I try to heal and preserve life. So Perry Christie needs to learn that. And if he don't know what the Hippocratic Oath means, I would give him a copy so he can read that. Maybe in his position, he would learn something.
Reporting for NB12, I'm Dana Smith.
Well, Financial Services Minister Ryan Pinder says it is rather hypocritical of the opposition leader to say his party would repeal and reverse any tax that proves injurious to the country if the F&M were to return to office. Minnis' comments come amid the government's plans to introduce value-added tax, a tax that has been widely criticized by the public and private sectors.
The PLP government has no plans on putting any harmful tax in place. We're putting in responsible tax reform for the best interests of the government, best interests for the country, mitigating any effects on the Bahamian people.
Last week, Minnis explained the middle and lower classes are already facing hardships and must be protected against any form of taxation that would injure those groups. Pinder blasted Minnis' comments as reckless and noted the opposition has not offered any alternative to fiscal reform. He also said value-added tax was formulated under the prior Exuma administration, where Minnis sat as a cabinet minister.
I find it shocking that the leader of the opposition who aspires to lead this country would make such reckless comments over and over and over again and has yet to propose one alternative to fiscal reform, considering it was his government that had put in place the background and the backdrop for value-added tax, and it was his government that put in place a number of different tax increases through their administration. I would have thought a responsible leader of the opposition would come forward to put forth options that the government should consider and options that his government would put in place rather than just reckless rhetoric.
A team from the Ministry of Finance is in the process of gathering and analyzing financial information related to the web shop gaming, according to State Finance Minister Michael Halkitis. Halkitis says that team will help to ascertain the financial details of the major web shops as government seeks to regulate the underground gaming industry. This as government finalizes its proposal on the rate of taxation and what the expected take will be. Tourism Minister Obi Wilshcombe, who has responsibility for gaming, last month said he hopes web shop gaming will be regulated by July 1st. However, Minister of State for Legal Affairs Damian Gomez recently indicated he thought the date was unrealistic considering the task at hand. Several members of Parliament have announced support for regulating the local gaming sector, but it is not clear whether the majority of those in Parliament will support the move. Just weeks after the Bahamas Telecommunications company's mobile service monopoly ended, the Prime Minister has announced the appointment of a committee to assist in the liberalization process. Speaking at a ceremony at the Mayaguana Airport yesterday, Prime Minister Perry Christie said he will speak to the timeline of the process at a later date, but the committee will be made up of individuals from the public and private sectors.
I put a timeline on the process. I'll be talking more about it later on this matter, but the fact of the matter is that it is now in progress, and it's a committee that the government has agreed, headed by Mrs. Ruth Miller, the former financial secretary.
The Prime Minister did not provide many details during his speech, but he indicated that the liberalization process may allow better communication across the country.
The government has embarked now on the process of liberalization, meaning now there'll be another company coming into the Bahamas in addition to BTC. And competition will mean better services, cheaper services probably. I'm not going to forecast it, but that is what normally happens. And where Bahamians will be given a choice. We are on the path for that now.
When asked by the Nassau Guardian for more information, the Prime Minister promised to hold a press conference soon, providing more details. Earlier this month, regional telecommunications provider Digicel indicated it hoped government would imminently make an announcement outlining the process in the shortest possible time frame. And an island-wide manhunt underway in Exuma today as police search for a 33-year-old man wanted in connection with an early morning shooting. Police on that island are searching for 33-year-old Leonardo Smith, also known as Fat Boy of Hartswell, Exuma. Reports are that shortly after 2 this morning, a man was getting into his car after an altercation in the Georgetown area when the suspect allegedly shot him in the abdomen and fled on foot. The victim was expected to be airlifted to New Providence for treatment today.